10 things to know about Sheepadoodles before you add on to your family. Everything has pros and cons. We wanted to ensure that you are aware of the concerns before getting a Sheepadoodle. Number 1, the Sheepadoodles are super clever. The Sheepadoodle in this family took advantage of the family's outing, and instead of doing the usual restroom on the light pole down the street, the Sheepadoodle actually went out and climbed through the neighbor's doggy door to eat the crispy bacon off the neighbor's table and return sneakily back to the owner's home. The owner only found out about the incident because a neighbor visited, and the owner then observed a Sheepadoodle licking the scraps of crispy, delicious bacon on his kitchen floor. Thankfully, the neighbor was able to tell on the Sheepadoodle, as the owner and neighbor had a good relationship. For more clever Sheepadoodle stories, please visit www.doodledogdiaries.com. Please like and subscribe to receive the latest videos, especially our dog food alerts. Number 2, personal space is a thing of the past. Two parents talk about how their Sheepadoodle loves to follow them no matter where they go, especially when they go to the restroom. Restroom time is usually really us time, and us time really means let's look at mom when she uses the restroom. Another set of Sheepadoodle parents talk about how anytime there is any conversation, that the Sheepadoodle will double up, run anywhere in the house to listen in. And often it seems that the Sheepadoodle loves to side with the dad, completing his designation as a daddy's boy. Number 3, stubborn. Sheepadoodles are known for their intelligence. This will often lead to potential complications with their parents. When the parents give an order that the Sheepadoodle pup does not want to listen to or follow, they will come up with many hilarious but difficult alternatives to the instructions that you provided, knowing full well that you both know what the pup should be doing, but they are doing sometimes dragging their feet or hiding to prevent themselves from doing the command. Number 4, health issues. There are 6 main health issues that might accompany a Sheepadoodle. It is important to know this information prior to getting one in your family. Number 1, hip dysplasia. Number 2, elbow dysplasia. And number 3, cataracts. Number 1, hip dysplasia. This is when a dog's hips weaken, deteriorate, and become arthritic. Not all hip dysplasias are the same, and the severity of the condition can vary. Larger breeds are more disposed to hip dysplasia due to their rapid growth. It is recommended to know if both the parents have this condition so that actions can be noted and potentially taken. Elbow dysplasia is very similar to hip dysplasia, but it occurs in the elbow of your dog. An X-ray is usually done to know what the potential damage could be for prospective parents. A poor grade should not allow the dog to breed any longer. Number 3, cataracts. Poodles are well known to have cataract issues. If your dog does develop cataracts, it is recommended to do an annual eye test. Most owners first notice problems when the dogs are bumping into furniture. Cataracts can quite often be treated through surgery to resolve this problem. Number 4, sebaceous adenitis. Number 5, Addison's disease. And number 6, canine autoimmune thyroiditis. Sebaceous adenitis. This is a skin disorder. In this disorder, the dog's sebaceous glands become inflamed and eventually die. When the gland no longer works, the following symptoms will appear: thickening of the skin, musty odor, hair loss, and secondary skin infections. Addison's disease is when the dog's body doesn't produce enough cortisol. Crucial signs include excessive drinking and urinating, increased heart rate, and panting. Canine autoimmune thyroiditis is the presence of anti-thyroid antibodies which slowly deplete the thyroid gland. Low levels of thyroid function in dogs is generally indicative of the disease. Treatment is possible in the form of daily medication and is essential. Number 5, they like domestic peace. The Sheepadoodle is super smart. Because of this, They are keen observers of their environment. If there are domestic issues or squabbles, or even just fights or intensity occurring within the family, there can be at times a Sheepadoodle barks, almost telling on individuals. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, and oftentimes it isn't, but it is worth noting that they are very tuned in with their environment and will let people know if they are unhappy or to draw attention to any fights that might be taking place. As one family member put it, sometimes the last thing you want to deal with is kids fighting and a pup barking all at the same time. Another thing the Sheepadoodle will occasionally do to her children if she feels like they are not able to make correct decisions on their own. This tendency can be trained out of your Sheepadoodle. Sometimes this can be useful and kind of cute. There are many videos that you will find online of this Sheepadoodle hurting or protecting or guarding a child to do certain things, especially if they are little. Once again, it is worth noting, and if anyone wanting to change a Sheepadoodle's behavior, make sure that you put in components of training to do so. Number 6, they will nip at you. One thing that all Sheepadoodle owners can agree with is that one thing you should be mindful of and make sure to train out of your dog is the tendency to nip. Because of the androgyny of the Sheepadoodle, many family members report their pup oftentimes will nip at them when they are very young. Once again, this is not that bad, but you need to make sure to train this habit out of them to avoid their unpleasant little teeth experience. Number 7, haircut options. Thanks to all the grooming options that are available to the Sheepadoodle and the constant expenditure of grooming for your pooch, most parents often find themselves thinking about the large number of different options on hairstyles. Let's face it, when you constantly have to go get a haircut, sometimes getting a variety of options may not seem like the worst idea. Have fun with your Sheepadoodle. Number 8, high maintenance, jealousy around the family. Spoil them a lot. Be prepared that when you dedicate so much time to a single member, other members of the family may get jealous. Sarah gives an example of such a thing occurring in her household. Quote, my boyfriend and I, after moving in with each other, decided that the next step would be to get a Sheepadoodle. After our long wait with the breeders, we were able to get our Sheepadoodle pup. Everything was great at first, but eventually, I noticed that our pup would only really listen to my boyfriend, even though I'm the one who gives him food every day and talks to him and walks most of the time with the Sheepadoodle. How do I fix this? Number 9, can be overly friendly. Warn guests. Sheepadoodles have the potential to be great guard dogs, but must be trained to be able to act on that nature that they inherit from their old sheep ancestry. We ran across multiple Sheepadoodle dog owners espousing how often their Sheepadoodles get along with everybody and will come up to strangers and just start to be playful with them. This can be good, but you must be careful to make sure that all your guests are familiar with your dog and the closeness that your dog will exhibit. Some people, unfortunately, have had bad childhood experiences with dogs, and this could go into a very negative spiral if not properly managed. Number 10, they are high energy. Be prepared to walk your Sheepadoodle often up to 2 or 3 times a day for a few miles, anywhere between 20 minutes to 40 minutes per each walk. The main thing to keep in mind is that these high-level activities are actually very good for your Sheepadoodle, and depending on the age range, you should qualify how long and how far these walks will be. One positive way to look at this is if you have been living a very sedentary lifestyle, the likelihood of losing weight is very high, as some of the owners of Sheepadoodles can attest to during this pandemic lockdown. Rachel, an owner of a Sheepadoodle, shared, quote, I knew that I was going to have to go for walks every day, but little did I know how often. Great news is that, unlike my other friends, there has been no COVID weight gain. In fact, I'm down 5 pounds since getting my Sheepadoodle. Please like and subscribe to receive the latest videos, especially about our dog food alerts. Woof woof! Have a great Sheepadoodle day!